Welcome back. Now, Nigeria's democracy is increasingly under scrutiny as many citizens and analysts now fear that the country may not be merely facing weak leadership but a full hijack by entrenched political actors. And so that leads us to ask, is Nigeria under hostage by rogue politicians? Joining us via Zoom this morning is Dr. Joachim Ezeji. He is the CEO, Gulf of Guinea Risk and Resilience Institute. You're welcome to the program. Good morning. Dr. Ezeji, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
All right, you're welcome to the program. Now, before we go into our topic of the day, one of the issues that is currently trending now in the country is the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu protest. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. So can you tell us, what do you think about this protest?
Thank you. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the protest, we are in a democracy. So protest is, civic protest is enshrined in our constitution. So Nigerians are free, very free. They have the right to protest when they feel things are not going the way they should. So if Nnamdi Kanu has been kept in detention for this length of time, it is right for people to protest and know what is happening, because we cannot keep him in detention under the guise of judiciary looking into his matter, and then they know, even when the courts give decision, we disobey, and the case is not moving as it should. If Nigeria was in a hurry to bring back Nnamdi Kanu, to go and move him from Kenya to Nigeria, then it's expected that they should have been able to speedily dispense the case. But when he was brought in the manner he was brought back, and nothing, the case is still moving at a snail pace, it becomes troubling. It becomes worrisome. So it needs to be sorted out. It needed to have been sorted out long ago. So if there is a protest, I think the organizers of the protest have every right to protest, at least to wake up the institutions responsible for the delay on this matter to quicken things up, so that because when you delay justice, you delay a lot of things. A lot of things are made to hold, to hang. So the protest is in the right place. Those in government, any Democrat, any so-called Democrat who abhors protest of this matter should make sure that he does the right thing, that the right things are done. Citizens have a right to protest.
About Nigeria being under hostage and, we having rogue politicians. In that book, who were you referring to as the rogue politicians? And do you think Nigeria is really under hostage?
Yes, Nigeria is under hostage. I will not be equivocal in saying that. Yeah, the book is not out yet. I'm finalizing it, and we're going to do a book review and formal presentation of the book. You see, when you have politicians who are elected or who are standing for office, who are aspiring, and they are not ready to respect the Constitution. They are trying to find ways to undermine the Constitution, to undermine the institutions. Example, you find them very willing to rig elections, to bribe, to get things go their way. Personal interest over common interest. such a politician is a rogue politician. And the system should be strengthened in such a way that there won't be room for a rogue politician. Because a rogue politician is only interested in his own personal aggrandizement, what he will get from the system for himself. Politicians are people who serve the common good, who come into public affairs to help to get things working, to get things improved for everyone. But when you have a politician who is there to become wealthy, who is transactional, who is in the public space just to do transactions, he's a rogue politician. So there is we need to adopt certain measures to make sure that there won't be space for rogue politicians in our polity.
Rogue politicians are those that seek personal interest over, public interest. And now, seeing the situation in Nigeria at the moment with our politicians, the constant defections, and all the other issues arising from our politicians, what would you say that the democratic situation in Nigeria is looking like at the moment?
It is deteriorating. When people go to the polls to elect politicians into offices, no politician had his name on the ballot box. Politicians, what you have on the ballot papers, the name of political parties. So we have elected a particular party to rule my state. And when the party won, I celebrated. Then suddenly, the governor, on his own personal interests, other issues best known to him, decides to elope from the party we voted to go to another party without even consulting me. I'm no longer important. My views are no longer, does not matter anymore. And he moved to another party for reasons best known to him. That is unfair. These are some of the things that need to be fixed. You see, a country like Kenya fought for and moved from one-party state to multi-party state. Kenya did it. The man that died recently, Raila Odinga, people love him because of that single achievement. He went to jail many times fighting. Because when you have one-party state, it's a prelude to life presidency. This like that happened in Kenya. I don't want to travel overseas to tell you. People like President, what do you call him, Arap Moi, and after him you have Mwai Kibaki. They were there for a very long time until all multi-party system came, and they had to. They have elections that are challenged. It becomes competitive. People look forward to assessing you and making input towards the better governance of their country. But you find here Nigerian politicians willingly leading us to a firing stakes, moving from multi-party system to one-party state. We have to avoid it. We have to reject it. What is driving it? It is a rogue attitude. Without negotiating with us, we have to discuss. We were ignored. So we are being held hostage. You see, even when in a situation like this, you expect the judiciary to intervene and rescue the situation. But you see, the judiciary appears to have also been held hostage because there is this cohabitation between the judiciary and the executive. So the thing is becoming troublesome. Because when we look up to the judiciary, you take a matter to the judiciary, it's not hard. Even if it is hard, it's left there to prolong. It makes the system weak. It makes citizens lose interest. Because the situation is getting hopeless and hopeless. Who saves the situation? That is why when you even see this protest that is going on today, people feel judiciary is not responding. They're supposed to help waging the recklessness of the executive. I said, no, this matter, you people went to Kenya and they brought this guy back. Let's address this matter once abroad. If the federal government team is not ready with the facts, in this case, why we should go home? You don't say keep him there at the whims and caprices of the president or whosoever is concerned or a section of the country. You don't do that. It's not democracy. If we are not ready to run democracy, then we know we are no longer running democracy. We fashion another system of government that we want to run. In democracy cannot be, you can't pick and choose. You do democracy based on the norms. There are democratic guidelines. These rules guide us. Whatever we do, we can be able to predict because there are always rules and regulations. When you undermine the rules of democracy, you are a rogue politician.
What I got from what you were saying earlier, you said that that you need the judiciary to intervene and the legislatures to do their bidding. But then some are saying that they need the constitution to be revisited, while some are saying that they need the constitution to be scrapped out and, you know, to get a fresh constitution that will guide the nation, you know, thereby implementing all the democratic implications and system in Nigeria. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that removing the constitution and getting a fresh one is the solution to Nigeria's problem?
Problem to Nigeria is not really the constitution. The problem is the people. The problem with Nigeria is the people. We have a lot of unjust justices. Our judiciary is highly unjust, and you have politics that is political space that is filthy. So the constitution is not really the problem. It's the people that operate the constitution. We talk about legislators and others that they are all politicians. You have the executive politicians and bureaucrats, then you have the judiciary, 100% politicians. Then you have the judiciary that should be able to correct us and interpret the constitution properly. And you see, come out with the feeling that they are compromised. That is very unfortunate. So we need a cleansing of the system. Yes, you see, when you talk about constitution, you see the National Assembly keep amending the constitution. So what are they amending? What is the consensus in those amendments? People say, oh, the constitution, the origin of the constitution is faulty, that they say we, the people of Nigeria, we never start to make it. That is correct. But what we have now can be a working document. It is not really a problem. We can't keep changing constitution when the individual is the problem. See the type of people we have in Nigeria. We have people, good people, bad people. We have excellent people. We also have rogues. And the rogues appears to be infesting everywhere. They are getting into politics. This wasn't the case. This was not the case before. At least I have been following national affairs in Nigeria, I've been following things properly from the dying days of the military. The military, the one of Murtala Mohammed Obasanjo, I've been following things so closely. And then you have the first experience, second experience on democracy when Shagari came. Can you compare the caliber of politicians we had now with what we have then and what we have now? I remember those days. If you are renowned in your community by level of intellectualism, education, what you studied, a group of people will come and beg you to come and stand in for election for them, to represent them. People are approached. We didn't have much issues with the falsification of certificates. But now everybody, all the people, the rogues we had in the society who were not part of the political system then, between 1979 and 1983, all of them are politics now. So now politics. And the one thing is that even the people that came when politics returned in 1999, that set was also good, relatively good, better than what we have now. Fortunately, they decided to sabotage the system by ensuring that their successors, they selected their successors, they inflamed their successors. People do not want in their cabinet people who can ask questions. You don't want people who can ask questions, you don't have people who have mind of their own. People that can help you succeed. Rather, you want people that will say, yes, sir, yes, sir. Whatever you tell them, they will agree. That is what we have in most state executives. And then the governor will decide who will succeed him. I will go to any length to make sure that he succeeds in getting a zombie to succeed him so that he can do his business when he's out of office. Practices that should be alien to our democracy. But in there, so even if you change the constitution 100 times, yeah, that's a role. We can tighten things, but we have to tighten our institutions first, so that those cannot easily flip our institutions to suit their cleavage.
You mentioned that the judiciary is unjust. And so I'd like to ask, are you saying that the judiciary is also being held hostage by rogue politicians? And if the judiciary, which is believed to be the last hope of the common man, if the judiciary is unjust and is being held hostage, what does that tell for the Nigerian people?
You see, that is a threshold we should be careful to cross. If the judiciary continues on this path of disappointing the average Nigerian, then you see that a total collapse of the system is inevitable. It's just a matter of time. The judiciary should be able to stand firm. Yes, judiciary currently is under hostage as well. The rogue politicians are holding the judiciary down. Let me give you an example. A governor was removed by the president. The president had used reasons for that. But does those reasons meet the requirements for a state of emergency as prescribed by the Constitution? Some people were saying yes, some people were saying no. The matter was taken to the Supreme Court by the Court of Resistance in such a manner. Up till now, the Supreme Court never had that matter. 6 months expired, the governor came back. People are saying, why didn't the Supreme Court hear the matter? Nobody has bothered to give us a reply. That's the judiciary. We have a chief judge. We have people. We have the agency. We have all the judges of the Supreme Court. Nobody has given us a reply. Now, we don't matter. They don't care. Read the Constitution. The Constitution says in such instance. Who is afraid here? What is the person afraid of? Is this the kind of judiciary that will take us to the future? And then when you dig deeper, is the character of these people. How were they elected? What is their affiliations? You begin to see that political actors have a hand in the appointment of most of these people. So we may not really have the right people sitting in certain places, especially in the judiciary. That is why there's a lot of inertia in the right direction. Things are not moving in the right direction. And it's a problem. And we have to heal our country of this. We call it atrocities, inactions. If we're unable to do it, there's no future for this country. I bet you the country deserves the best. We need a responsive judiciary to help heal the country. Not a judiciary that is afraid to speak. We want one that can speak irrespective of whose horse is God. When we get there, it's a matter of time.
All right. Now, to what extent do you think that this whole issue has actually crippled Nigerian economic system? And would you agree with the perception that some of these rogue politicians are weaponizing poverty?
Thank you for that beautiful question. You see, poverty is a resultant effect of bad decisions. It's just like when you have money in your account, you know the money is meant to feed you and your family. You decide to become an overnight millionaire, overnight philanthropist. You are throwing your money about. You will soon get broke. When we have the political system problem, the result is poverty. People will get poor. So you see, some of those decisions have been taken, and people went to court to challenge them, and the court sided the government or refused to do something reasonable. We are feeling it. Talk of nobody. You see what we call global trade. Global trade is sensitive to a lot of parameters. One of them is the macro and the micro environment of the country. So when you play bad politics, it reflects on the macro and micro environment of the country. And the one thing is that you don't have investment. You be divestment. People will be willing. You see, many companies are leaving Nigeria. Many are leaving the country. And people appear unbothered. Are you not worried that Nigeria doesn't add any value to crude oil? In this, after many years of discovery and exploiting crude oil, Nigeria doesn't add value to crude oil. It's exported in its raw manner and then refined abroad and brought in. Maybe, I hope Dangote can be able to do much, to have more private investors coming to play the role he's playing. If the transactional cost in Nigeria will not stop him. So people find it difficult to invest in Nigeria, especially when the judiciary cannot be trusted. Because people can run into trouble trying to do investments in Nigeria. The only recourse will be to go to court. They'll go to court and they will not get justice. Let me tell you, the judiciary is very important in stabilizing the politics. When you see people go traveling abroad to go and study, there's a reason why they go there. Because they know that they will not be molested, they will get the grace they work for. And if things go bad, they can easily get restitution. When I was doing PhD, when I was a PhD student in England, at a point, I had difficulties with funding. And the Home Office said, I should leave. I said, no, I'm already midway to my PhD. I can't leave and I'll be paying. They said I should leave. Then they gave me the option to go to court and challenge it. I went to court and challenged it. Everything was speedily dispensed of. The judiciary gave me verdict. I should remain to finish my PhD. I've already started and I've been paying money, and there's evidence that I've been paying, so I can't leave. So I had to stay and finish my studies. A lot of cases like that. Why won't people be willing to travel there and study? So it's not, our judiciary have to work. In poverty, you see, there are a lot of things that affect poverty. If the poverty has to be eradicated in Nigeria, you should have a role. It's not the executive. But you see, we have a pattern where the government is beginning to think more of, because we don't have people, deep thinkers in government, of palliatives as a way to cushion poverty. But it's very temporal. If you want to deepen systemic reforms, you look at the way of the judiciary and the way we conduct the elections in Nigeria, the institutions responsible. Before, you may have the temptation to trust an institution like INEC, but INEC cannot be trusted anymore. No matter the number of professors you put there, it doesn't mean much. Because the character of the individuals you are bringing to INEC matters a lot. Maybe people who can flip a bottle over, don't forget it. Because a lot of rogue elements are also in INEC. So these are all the issues. You see, rogue politicians should be stopped from interfering with judges, hobnobbing with judges, should be stopped from going anywhere close to INEC. Let them just fill their power and submit it. Not, they're interested in who gets into INEC, they're interested who gets appointed to INEC, they're interested who becomes even ordinary magistrate. So when they pollute everywhere, nothing will work. And poverty will get worsened. So these are very concerning issues that needs to be addressed. And the civil society in Nigeria has been so weakened that it has been reduced to individual voices. It's an issue. If we succeed in killing the system, the Nigerian system, who will remain here? We, intellectuals like us, who finished our studies and came back to Nigeria, are looking like fools. Like fools. People ask, why do you even come back? But we are here to add value, to contribute. But it's looking more every day, it looks more like a mistake. It looks more like a mistake because the country is no longer giving you joy. You don't have joy. The key players you find around, the political key players, even the judiciary key players, don't give you joy. So, and I have decided to say, I'm going
Joaquin, we apologize. We'll have to cut you short here, but we hope to continue this conversation in future. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I'm okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joaquin Ezeji, for that interesting discourse. And thank you for being a part of our conversation this morning and for joining us on the Signature Morning. And make sure to stay tuned. Don't go anywhere as the morning show continues right after now. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha.
And I am Lilian Mali. Do stay with us.